Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It has been a very long time, and long story short, I didn't think I'll be making this video as much as you guys didn't think you'll see another installment of the previous layout. But there is a good reason to that. So during the course of this video, which you see on screen here, it was the announcement that everything from Woodford Vale had gone, as well as all the double O gauge stock, and then this turned up. It's a Hornby 9F with Westinghouse pumps, as you can see, and it's for the concept to Tyne Dock iron ore trains. And yes, so this sort of got me back into double O gauge, and although I'm still building an O gauge, I'm now rebuilding a double O gauge layout, and as you can see here, the beginnings of what is to come. Essentially, what used to be the fiddle yard on the old layout is now basically just a workbench, and I'm only really using about a foot of it. So I thought, the boards are 2.5 feet deep. I could probably put a raised fiddle yard on there for a double O gauge layout and just watch the trains go by. So that's what started to happen. I've started to build, and actually the track bed and the baseboards for this are basically now done, which you'll see during the course of this video. And whilst this video is going on, I do apologise that some of the photos are on screen for a very long time. Progress has been very, very slow, mainly because it's just checking and double checking, thinking before really committing, which is the problem with the previous layout. It was just too much really in too little a space. So for this new layout, less is more. I tried to see if I can get just a small station on there. As time would tell, unfortunately that just was not doable. So basically we've dropped all idea of having a station or anything. And basically now it's just trains going through open countryside. As you can see here, we've gone for an open frame sort of plan. We're using the original construction of the previous layout as the basis on a raised track bed. So this is the first little bits and bobs, the fiddle yard bit being done. Now we're moving forward and completing the raised track bed, as it were. So as you can see here, my A5 with my 4 Mark 1s there showing it. As I moved a little bit forward, you can now see through the outside looking in another one of my 9Fs with a guards van there. As the track bed has progressed and has got nearer completion, the idea of this is just to really give me a little bit of inspiration as to what's going on and what's going forward with this all. Hence why in this video I'm doing a voiceover rather than the usual text. So now we're back on the inside, you can start to gauge really a little bit of an idea as to what's going on. You know, the A5 again being the bit of inspiration, morale boost to get me going. So I know I was going to have a raised track bed. The track plan is very simple. It's just 2 loops, no points, no nothing. It's just literally going to be trains going through a scenic piece. At this point, which you're seeing these pictures, it's very, very early on. It's the track bed's done. I'm just putting trains out just to get an idea as to what's it's all potentially going to look like. Now, what was I going to do at this point? I don't know. I was debating having a like as you're going through Leicester sort of thing, or coming out of London, or Manchester Piccadilly. Do I have trains on an archway, and as they're heading out, and then they enter the scene and exit the scene through underneath road bridges sort of thing, and it's basically like the trains are above the city sort of thing. And I thought, it's a tempting idea. So this is like the mock-up, the old warehouse that was in that top corner underneath those shelves there. This is the one that had the Spitfire flying overhead. You'll see that in the next picture. So, as much as I like the idea of having the buildings down low with the trains going through, I decided not to go with that in the end. Another shot of it here, where hopefully you can see it all a bit clearer. It did look quite tempting, but I just thought again, am I giving myself too much really to really do, when all I want to do really is just watch the trains go by and, keep everything else separate. So standing back, I decided what I was going to do, and that was going to be literally trains through open country. They go in and out through cuttings and tunnels. I know, how original, but that's basically it really. Emphasis being on the quality and my skills getting better, improving the rolling stock and the scenics to it. So here, looking along, you sort of get the idea, 2 tracks through with a bridge. What was I going to put underneath this bridge? I'm definitely thinking more along the lines of a river as opposed to anything else. But this is mainly just meant to be something that's relaxing. So you can see at the top in that back corner there, there's a raised road bed. It was going to have like a pub and something up there. I decided to get rid of that. But one thing the raised track bed did do is it enables you to get a proper look through the window at the stock. And as you can see here, if it wasn't for the security mesh, which you'll see later on I do something about, if it wasn't for that security mesh, you really get some good photos of the stock going through there, especially with the sun on it. So now I'm starting on the embankments out of polystyrene. And the best thing I found for sticking polystyrene down is something called Tiger Seal, which in automotive industries is used for sticking body kits on cars. On my Ford Mustang, my spoiler on that is stuck on with Tiger Seal, as well as having some bolts in it for added security. But Tiger Seal, be a bit careful when you use it. It does go everywhere. It is a messy thing to use. But once this polystyrene was down using Tiger Seal, it ain't coming back out in a hurry. But now you can see as we progress, something you will notice, particularly going on, is the fact that I'm not sure whether I mentioned it in that video at the beginning that I showcased, but I sold everything near enough of 00. So what you're seeing is what I've bought back and what I kept. But as you can see, that little signal box, I found that in a drawer. I forgot I had it, and this was me thinking about what I was going to have going through that bridge. So I decided on the river, but it was going to be a little branch line station. This is a little close up there of that signal box. I need to do a little bit of work there on that second window from the left, put some cross pieces back in for it. But yeah, I built that, painted that up myself. It's got a little interior in it, and it looks the part, I think. So yeah, now moving on. Next thing, the other next construction, other than the 2 tunnel mounts and that signal box and possibly some signals, is this little bridge. And here I've just made the abutments for it out of foam board and brick paper. The black main girder and bed of the bridge you'll recognise from the previous Woodford Vale layout, where that was the one that actually went over the entrance and exits to the turntable. So now moving forward, it was a very sunny day and I got fed up with the glare from the polystyrene and the boards, so I painted them all brown, just mainly so it was a little bit easier on the eye as you went in and out whilst I did bits and pieces. And also, if you notice on that window, that security mesh is now gone, which means if I was to head back outside like this, you can get some really nice photos of stuff and hopefully video footage as well of all the stock going by. And the idea is hopefully that with the sunlight on some of the stock, it will just really help make it all pop, particularly some of the weathering. I mean, Steve Croucher of Neville Grove, who weathered my A22 and my A23, has done a fantastic job. But because I couldn't get enough light on them to really make them pop, unless it was in stills, it wasn't doing his work justice. And I mean, this V2 here, it was professionally weathered by someone, I don't know who, I just bought it weathered. And it really pops. And again, here, for me, this is me sat down at my chair level, the raised track bed making it easier for me to see the trains over the scenery. And with that security mesh gone now, it just really adds to it. And I mean, this is my favourite photo I've taken so far. And it's just the silhouette of the Concept Ore Train and the Standard 4 on some Mark 1s. So for now, really, that is about it as to where we're to. There is a long, long way to go. But we're moving in the right direction, I would say. Since these photos and this video has been done, I have actually since weathered that Standard 4 tank. That'll probably feature in the next video. When the next video is going to come, I honestly can't tell you. I really can't. All I can tell you is that so far we are making progress. Woodford Vale is back, and it will be coming back. But how fast and how quick, I don't know. So stay with me, hopefully, and we'll have something back together again for you very, very soon. But thank you all very much for watching. Thank you all for your continued patience. And take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Laters.